Welcome back, Shani G. Or as a girlfriend would say, Shanae. We got another one for you. Talking a little bit about USB-C cables, USB cables, hacking, breaking it down for y'all. Sean Ryan's clips, one of my favorite YouTubers out there, talking about hacking and accessing computer systems and having some insight on this. So I'll let it play for a little bit and then share what I have to say.
Think of it as camouflage, basically. It's like, what's the environment? Did they use white cables? Do they use USB-A, USB-C? Is it a Mac shop? Cool, they're going to have lightning on one end. Maybe if they got the older phones. If it's newer phones, cool, USB-C. It primarily emulates a keyboard. It says, I'm a keyboard, and it types really fast. So what does that do? Literally anything I could do sitting at the computer at the keyboard.
And all respect.
We're talking about the OMG cable, but
Sean Ryan's clips.
I want you to discuss and talk about it.
So basically, he's going to go into it a little bit here. I want to make sure I give all the credit to them. Sean Ryan, you can see here. Follow, like, subscribe them. Sean puts out some great stuff, but this week we're talking about hacking and how these guys can access your computer pretty much anywhere using this little cable that he's talking about here.
Exactly what it is that the OMG cable does, and show us an example. And for those that are listening, if you go to Mike's Everyday Carry, does a phenomenal job at actually showing what it does real time on computers, on phones. It's fascinating. But go ahead and give us the show us what it is and walk us through what exactly it does.
Yeah, definitely. Let's pull one up.
So take a look. He basically has a whole set of them here.
There's a good one.
So the one he pulls out is a
OMG
USB
cable,
to
right?
Lightning, I think. Yeah. So USB to Lightning. So if we look at the cables here, it looks like he has some USB sticks, USB to Lightning there, USB-C maybe. There's a USB-C for sure. A couple different cables. This looks like USB to HDMI or like a display maybe. These are just some of them, but he's saying he can access it with any of these cables by building a PCB or a printed circuit board, putting it inside the cable, and I'm assuming he puts it in the thicker part of the case, but he's camouflaging it into the case to be able to access your computer.
You see a little window blink, right? That's basically your terminal. In that case, there's a lot of things I could do, but in that case, on that
through this cable, and y'all should go watch this. It's kind of interesting, but
I think it was.
He doesn't lead on
so you
to
could
all
put
the stuff that they could
some
do.
Type of a Trojan horse or something.
So listen to this
in
example.
There and implant it in the computer, like very
exactly right
through a series of keystrokes.
Exactly, and then if you detect the Trojan on there and you remove it, and the cable's still in play, which is designed to be, just put it right back on.
No shit.
Which is absolutely a thing that has happened with a bunch of my customers.
Saying,
they have told me that they did an engagement with a very high profile
you put it right back
client.
on if the cable's still there because that's what it does.
But that reinfection vector is exactly what they used.
Do you prompt it, or does it just automatically do it when you put it in the computer?
Either or. So all about flexibility. So you can.
So what Sean misses, he asked a bunch of questions about how it works and things like that. Basically, what he's assuming that you have to go through multiple steps to get to where you can manipulate the computer, but realistically what they don't discuss here is that you could put any program onto this cord or OMG cable or whatever they call it and run it onto the computer that's now infected, right? Same as plugging in a flash drive. It's just a mini flash drive essentially that's hidden into a cable to access your computer. So say I have my flash drive here, right? This is the same as any cable. it's just the entrance to the computer and then whatever's stored in here. If there's a cable coming off it, I mean, you can just bypass that and run right into the computer. This is the camouflage. The program inside is any program that you could have on your computer now, right? I could drop an executable onto your computer using this, right? So the social engineering would be the bypass to this, right? I can email it to you, tell you to download it, and if you download it, then we don't need this. This is so that I can do it all on my own. I can go home onto my own computer, access your computer when you're not there, track your keystrokes, track passwords, track anything that I could do with any file, any remote access tool from home. I can just put it onto your computer with this. And the nice thing about the OMG cable is that you're unsuspecting that the cable is imprinting the data, because most people think of something that stores data as transferable, and that's what's the whole gimmick about this whole situation here that we're watching, is that the cable is the camouflage. That's the biggest thing here.
Different way. So what I showed was me remotely connecting to it, and I hit go. But this can be configured that when it powers up, when it gets plugged in, it powers up. It can immediately run a payload. It can wait a series, however long you
Just
want,
like any
and then run a
flash drive.
payload.
Is the payload the actual keystroke? Or is
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is
So when I
that
say payload, it's the series of keystrokes that gets.
They're talking about the minute details instead of the big picture, right? Sean keeps going into the payload as one little mini program. The payload can be anything. The payload could be a RAT tool, remote access platform that can give full access to the computer. Once I have access here, it's done. I mean, I can access anything, watch the screen. Now, a lot of newer age security is not going to let you in that easily, but let's just say this is what's bypassing that. This flash drive, right? This cable is bypassing that, and he's hung up on the, well, how are you going to log on to the computer? Well, just like you would have that same obstacle without the RAT, right? And this is just that bypass. So, right, if I can install a keylogger, find your password, now I'm past that preliminary security phase, can kind of go where I need to go. And that's what it is. It's opening that door. This is that key. And so it doesn't really matter your overall intentions past that. Once you open the door, I mean, the kingdom is yours, basically.
And the malware or the Trojan horse or whatever?
You can. There's ways of typing out, like if you got like a small executable that you want to transfer over, there's a couple of ways to do that. Like you just use the keystrokes to download it, right? You can download stuff from like the terminal, for instance, or I could use Chrome and download it there and go to the downloads folder and open it.
Right, he's talking about many ways to download. If I went onto your computer team viewer and I needed to download some security stuff, I could find my way there without necessarily looking at your screen, because it's all repeatable, right? If you know that they're working on Windows, I go right down to the bottom, type in Chrome. I mean, I can hit the window key, pull up your search, type in Chrome, enter, and now I'm in Chrome, right? Same thing works for any program. If I know your program's on there, I hit the Windows key, search it, open it, and then I can run it on my own computer and assume that things are the exact same once I'm in on your computer, and then I follow the steps to wherever I need to go, whether that be accessing your information, whatever that sensitive information is.
Open it up there.
Through keystrokes.
Yep, I can navigate everything with keystrokes.
So you could.
Right,
I
I
have
can
no
just
idea
set
what
up.
the hell I'm doing
Imagine,
with this shit, but I'm learning.
We can do some fun stuff.
Sean's
you could
assuming
Send somebody
that
an email.
he's
and
blind, but really you could copy the
with a
same page
downloadable
you're
whatever
working
Yep,
on
that's one way,
here
yep.
with this,
And then
access you have there.
plant that cable on them.
Same
They plug
exact
the cable
instructions,
in.
and you should
It does the
replicate
keystrokes
them exactly
automatically
and get to the same location
open
you
Chrome,
need to
log
be.
into their email, download the thing.
See,
Yeah, it's one
and
way. Yep.
Go to the
but
downloads
you don't need to
folder,
go.
download.
You don't need to email it to them, right? You can just have that file saved somewhere and access it, pull it up right through the cord, or pull it up from your own files somewhere else. Once you have access to once you get past that security barrier, right?
Go to then you're in.
Yep,
And it
that's
all
one way.
happens within like a couple of seconds.
Yep, that's one way. I mean, I probably wouldn't email it to them because if I was going to email it, I'd probably include an email that convinces them to
And
just
this
run
is
it
the
for
best
me.
part. Right.
But if I'm up against a hardened target where they're not as susceptible to that, they're unlikely to do it, I'm like, okay, well, let's get a cable that'll do it for me.
That's the answer, right? So if I can social engineer you, I can call you up and say, hey, give me your password. If I can send you an email that says, hey, you won $1 million, click this link, or hey, this is pictures of, the last family or work event. Here, want to see the pictures? And you click the link. If I can get you to click the link, I don't need all this, right? This is for a target that knows, someone that's not clicking the link in the email, basically. That you need a little bit more of a stronger way to get in. You put that cable. You drop the USB cable outside, whatever it is, that they work. Hopefully they plug it in. Or you gain access to the room, plug it in yourself. But once you have that plugged in, then you're the same as plugging in a USB. It's just an undercover flash drive.
As an example, right? This can also do mouse movements too if we need. Lots of control there. And yeah, it's you can also the malware, right? You can download that. You can also type it back out.
They get into a little bit of the details of typing it out and things like that is really not that important.
No.
Where they're checking what is being downloaded from the internet. Okay, you're looking at the internet. Cool. I'm gonna just type this little piece of malware back into the computer.
So he's saying access the computer with a keylogger or a keystroke through the cord, and then just type out whatever you need. I mean, if you need to write the program out, you access Word, Windows keyboard, WordPad, and then type it out, run. I mean, there's lots of ways. And like I said, you can just set up the desktop in the exact same fashion, so you don't need to be looking at the screen to be able to know exactly where you are on it. Just one way a hacker could access your thing any day. Just some insight. Thought y'all would like this.